So I just got done meeting with some of our youth and a couple of our leaders every Thursday at noon. I used to go into the school and meet with the students and pray with them, and so we've just continued doing that. We get together over the internet and meet and talk about the things that we need to pray about, and talk about what they're doing to maintain their spiritual lives, and it's just a great time. But today we were talking about who Jesus is, and I asked them the question: besides the crucifixion and the resurrection, what things did Jesus do that were just amazing to them? Things that they just that kind of blow their minds of who Jesus is and what he did. And we talked about some of the miracles. We talked about the way that he interacted with people. We talked about just the fact that he even came. So there were a lot of things that we talked about. And yet and we talked about how he taught his disciples and the things that he gave to them, and how they've passed those things on. And I just want to remind you today that that these things that we know, this wisdom that we have, this ability that we have to interact with those around us, we get that from the Spirit that's in us. And just as the disciples learned that from watching Jesus, we learn that from paying attention to the Spirit and watching those who have the Spirit in them. So it's just being passed down. And so I encourage you to think about the things that you're passing down, the things that you're teaching, that you're giving to those around you that are watching and paying attention. So this is as Jesus was getting ready to go to the Garden of Gethsemane. He just spent some time with his disciples, and in John chapter 15, this is what he speaks to them. He says, "As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remain in his love. I've told you this so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. For greater love has no one than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command." Then he says these words. He says, "I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you." Sometimes the things that Jesus did and said and accomplished, they blow our minds. But he was only doing what the Father had taught him and had told him to do. And in the same way, the disciples and us, we have this responsibility and actually this honor to be able to do what the Father tells us to do, to continue on that work that Jesus brought to us. So in the same way that Jesus' actions just amaze us and astound us, we have the opportunity to amaze and astound others, not by the things that we do, but by the things that Christ does in us. People, we just need to be the church.